Jason, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I think you're muted.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I was coming through. Are you all good on your end? They should be heading down now.
Yeah, we're live on YouTube.
Thank you.
I'll just wait for the queue to actually start recording the meeting.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Let me make sure my volume is down.
Sounds good.
No feedback. Awesome. Let me just pull my agenda on my second screen. See, I want to keep doing Zoom just so I can keep my second screen you guys gave me. I love this screen. Don't take it away. It's awesome. Okay. Okay. Where are we? I've got so many things open. Somebody is in chambers. We're not alone. All right. Calling this meeting to order. I love doing that. Monday, September 28, 2020. Attendance at the start of the meeting is 100%, 5 in chambers, 2 participating virtually. I don't see Sheena.
I'm here, Kathy. I'm here.
Can you guys keep your cameras on? That would help me. Great, we're just talking how we're going to spend the stimulus money. So Kevin, you want Diane to present all this? Oh, motion to adopt the agenda. Thank you, Ken.
Was there a change, Mr. Scoble? Did you have?
Just the numbers.
We just.
Kevin hasn't turned his volume down.
No, I turned it off. I was using the computer instead of the microphone. Sorry about that. Yeah, so we just, I sent it out earlier. It's not so much changing a purpose of a motion, just a number within it. So.
So motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
Yeah, that September 28th, 2020 agenda be adopted as presented.
All right, all those in favor? Hands are good. That's unanimous. All right. When can we start using Granicus again for voting? Do we know? Okay, maybe next time. Okay. I'm gonna start getting back to normal. This hand thing's weird. All right, Diane.
Good afternoon, Madam Mayor and members of council. So today's agenda report seeks council approval to support our applications for grants under both the Municipal Stimulus Fund and the Investing in Canada Infrastructure Program. So in June of 2020, in response to the devastating economic impacts of COVID-19, the government of Alberta announced a $500 million capital stimulus program with the intent of immediately creating local jobs, thereby stimulating the overall economy. St. Albert's allocation of the dollars equated to $7.8 million. Given that this program came with a set of very stringent criteria, administration carefully evaluated all of our somewhat shovel-ready projects to find those that most closely linked to program objectives. To this end, administration is recommending the following projects be approved pending final confirmation of project eligibility from the province. So the Community Amenities Lakeview Servicing Project for $5 million, 2 intersection improvement projects, Boudreau at Belrose and Everett at Ebony for a total of $1.8 million, and the solar PV program at Service Place for just over $1 million. On August 25th, 2020, the Honourable Rick McIver, Minister of Transportation, announced a change in eligibility for our previously allocated ISIP transit grants, totaling about $10.9 million, to allow municipalities more flexibility in the use of these funds through a new COVID-19 resiliency stream. This new stream allows the dollars to be redirected towards things such as repairs and upgrades to municipal facilities, COVID-19 response infrastructure, active transportation, and disaster mitigation. The original requirements under the transit stream included a 50 to 60% municipal contribution and was to cover the years up to 2028. Given that the COVID-19 resiliency stream only requires a 20% municipal contribution and can be accessed within 1 year, it is felt that the decision to switch the dollars into this new stream is advantageous for St. Albert. That being said, it's important to remember that this is not new money, and the need to support our transit assets through to regionalization still continues to exist. So while we are recommending that the dollars be redirected to this new stream, we are further recommending that the original dollars that would have been applied to these projects is transferred into the transit reserve to support these known transit requirements. So the projects that we're recommending to submit for this grant is neighborhood park development, active transportation, emergency operations center, Fowler Athletic Park refurbishment, Service Place roofing, LaRose Park Court refurbishment, Kingsmead Park, Service Life Cycle Replacement Program, and the City Sports Field Rehabilitation Program. The intent of utilizing mostly RMR projects was that these projects have already been approved and have designated funding in an amount adequate to cover the 20% municipal contribution. And I think as Mr. Scoble had mentioned, there is a change to a few of the dollar values in motion number 3 in your agenda package. The change was just due to the fact that the overall project of just under 2.3 million, which is what we'll be applying for the grant for, 227,000 of it was actually already approved by council as part of the 2020 budget. So it's only the difference that we need approval on the project for. So again, council approval is being sought today as there is an October 1st deadline for the MSP grant and a September 30th deadline for the ISIP grant. And the city would be at risk of forfeiting these grants if the deadline was missed. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks. Quick question, maybe it's a ledge question. Motion number 6 says that residual municipal allocation uncommitted through this process is transferred to the transit, which is what Diana was just referring to. When I read that, I didn't understand it. So now I think I understand that it means that the money that was committed to those A through I projects was committed, now becomes uncommitted and is transferred to transit. Is that how is that the
Yes,
intention?
that's correct, as well as the few growth projects that we do have on here would have been part of our administration's recommendation as part of the 21 budget as recommendation for funding. So it would also be taking the money that would have been allocated to those out of the capital reserve and assigning those to transit as well.
Do we have a number on that? Like how much that is?
So it would be, just give me half a second here.
And maybe in a minute, Diane, add it up. I mean, I'm not questioning and I'm supportive of it. I just was wondering what the number is.
So I want to say it's just over 4 million in total, but a lot of that will be coming from reserves and only a small amount out of the capital reserve and the rest out of life cycle reserves.
All right, so why don't we talk the stimulus grant fund? Any questions on the first intention for the stimulus money? Any questions? Oh, that's easy. Okay. And then what about on the ISIP stuff, transferring it over to the resiliency and the projects there? Any questions there? Any questions at all? Wow. It's gonna be the shortest meeting of all time. Kevin, I think this one's gonna go to you because I'm questioning the $1 million for an emergency operations center. Wasn't in our budget before this, and now we have money. Can you try to explain to me why we need to do this? Because we just went through a pandemic. We just managed without emergency operations center. Why does it need to be $1 million? Help me out.
My understanding is, so you're correct, prior to COVID, there'd been an emergency operations center plan, but administration actually took it off the books, so to speak. COVID has come. And so we're looking at, again, incorporating it into the new Fire Hall 1 build there. The existing EOC is at Fire Hall 3, too small. And in the case of the pandemic, we quickly pulled our EOC out of there within the first couple of weeks. Number one, so our EOC didn't get sick from emergency responders going out to COVID cases and vice versa. So it was about, I guess, compartmentalizing the potential exposure of two key areas through the pandemic. So then they went to the St. Albert Business Center, and we've displaced assessment and taxation and economic development as well. So they're currently working remote, and we're trying to find alternative locations for them at the moment. So again, it's just having a properly set up area that's pretty much contained and quarantined from everything else without significant displacement. So again, if you drive by the business center, you'll see a CCAN out back that's got all the economic development and taxation stuff in it right now. So we're actually paying rent on that as well. So, yeah.
So what will the space be used for outside of emergencies? Is there a potential to use it for something?
Yes, you can use it as a multi-use. It can be a larger, as we go through space planning with COVID here and look at opportunities emerging, you can certainly use it as a larger training center than perhaps we have for HR type training or safety type training. You can certainly put it as a multi-use facility for sure, or a multi-use room until such a time as we need to activate the EOC.
So is it really just essentially $1 million increase in the budget for Fire Hall 1? Because it's going to be part of Fire Hall
I
1.
believe so, but I'll defer to the CFO. She can probably mention how that's being allocated.
Yeah, I'll make some initial comments, and then if Donnie maybe wants to join in. So as far as I understand, the Fire Hall 1 is being built with the shell for the EOC, so that was already part of the existing budget. So the room is there, and this just allows us to actually fit it up the interior, with the walls and rooms and equipment and stuff that we need for that, and it can be built right onto the existing contract, I believe, for Fire Hall 1. Did you want to add, Donnie?
No, you got it. Or as part of adding the scope, it takes about 8 weeks of design time. We have the concept plan developed as part of the original plan, but we deleted the scope as part of the Fire Hall 1 construction. So we can add it on if the timing is right. We can time it well that we can finish the addition as well before December 2021 as per the grant requirement.
All right, any other questions, guys? Wow. Motion? It's a big one. You have to read the whole thing. None of it.
If Tamara puts it in the chat, I can read it out. I read quickly.
Yes, you do. It's in the agenda package too.
There it is, if you'd like me to read it.
Read it here.
So that the following postponed motion be approved. PM 21-3, that the following 2021 growth project charters provided as attachments to the September 28, 2020 agenda report titled Municipal Stimulus Program and Investing in Canada Infrastructure Program Grant Applications be approved subject to MSP and MCCAC grant approval. A, Eng 54A intersection improvements, Boudreaux Road at Belrose Drive for $1 million. B, Eng 54B intersection improvements, Everett Drive at Ebony Way, 805,000. C, Environment 2 solar PV program, is that 1.5 million. 2, that by October 1, 2020, the following projects be submitted for approval to the province of Alberta related to the Municipal Stimulus Program, MSP. A, community amenities, Lakeview for 5,108,000. B, intersection improvements, Boudreaux Road at Belrose Drive, 1 million. C, intersection improvements, Everett Drive at Ebony Way, 805,000. D, solar PV program, 1,050,000. Well, what are we here? 1.05 million. 3, that the following postponed motion be approved. PM 21-4, that the following 2021 growth projects, and Tamara, can I get you to put the rest there? Sorry, I can also scroll down to my agenda. Oh, here we go. So where are we here? So 3, that the following postponed motion be approved. PM 21-04, that the following 2021 growth project charters provided as attachments to the September 28, 2020 agenda report titled Municipal Stimulus Program and Investing in Canada Infrastructure Program Grant Applications be approved pending formal ICIP COVID-19 resiliency stream funding transfer requests. A, Recreation 49 neighborhood park development for 2,039,000. Oh, what are we here? 2 million. I can't even read this. 2.039600. We got it. B, engineering 68 active transportation plan, 1.1 million growth. C, Fire 27 Emergency Operations Center, 972,800 growth, and that the 20% municipal contribution required as part of the ICIP COVID-19 resiliency stream program guidelines of 822,480 be funded from the capital reserve. 4, that the following postponed motion be approved. PM 21-5, that project charter Recreation 70 Fowler Athletic Park refurbishment provided as attachment to the September 28, 2020 agenda report titled Municipal Stimulus Program and Investing in Canada Infrastructure Program Grant Applications Budget. And I ran out again. Sorry, guys. The
Mayor will put it in.
I'm
have
still
your-
quicker than you can. So the budget be increased from 250,000 to 2.87 million to allow for the entire project to be completed in 2021 to align with the requirements of the ICIP COVID-19 Resiliency Stream grant criteria, and that the 20% municipal contribution required as part of the ICIP COVID-19 Resiliency Stream program guidelines of 574,000 be fulfilled by the current $250,000 already approved for the project, with the additional 324,000 funded from the capital reserve. And 5, that by September 30th, 2020, the city provide notice to the province of Alberta that our intent to transfer, oh my goodness, 10,915,868.31 of grants previously allocated under the Investing in Canada Infrastructure Program, ICIP Transit Stream, to the new COVID-19 Resiliency Stream, and submit the following projects for approval. A, Recreation 49, Neighborhood Park Development. B, Engineering Active Transportation Plan. C, Fire 27 Emergency Operations Center. D, Recreation 70 Fowler Athletic Park Refurbishment. And E, Public Works 31 Municipal Facilities Repairs and Renewal, Service Place Roofing. F, Recreation 71 La Rose Park Court Refurbishment. G, Kingsmead Park. H, Service Life Cycle Replacement Program. And 6, that any residual municipal allocation uncommitted through this process is transferred to the Transit Life Cycle Reserve or be otherwise committed to future transit requirements. Thank you, Tamara.
Well done. I thought of one more question before I accept that motion. That's for Diane, because I see her here. Rec 049 is neighborhood park development. Because we're putting this in there, is that going to be able to accelerate the development of the Riverside Park?
Yes, Ms. Mayor, we are absolutely going to be able to do Riverside Park through this funding in 21. We've been working with the developer, and we are able to align with their work along with the city's work in the park. So hopefully we will have at least a portion of the park complete in 2021.
Okay, so residents can see some action next spring.
Correct.
Okay, awesome. All right, accept that motion. And
Mayor Herron, sorry,
Go
I
ahead.
just, when Councillor Jolly was reading out the motion, I didn't hear her read out the last one, which was the Rec 003 City Sports Field Rehab Program on the last one. And I heard you stop at Service Life Cycle Replacement.
I did not. It wasn't in my list. I can add that.
Okay, because it's in the agenda package. It's the very number I.
And what is
On
it?
number 5. So Rec 003 City Sports Field Rehabilitation Program.
I'll accept that, Kathy.
Okay, make sure it's in there. Okay. All right, call for the vote. Unless anyone has any, comments on this. Go ahead, Natalie.
Oh, I have nothing. I'm voting in favor.
Okay, call for the vote. That looks like it's unanimous. Ray? Okay. All right. Meeting adjourned. That was fast. Time's our next one? Part 215?